He set the iron down. Where would I go? Anywhere, everywheres. Ah, but then I would not have seen your face when you realized I was right. She stiffened, arrogance. Clarity, he turned, his gaze stripping her armor layer by layer. You are not your brother, Taryn. Your penance does not require a coffin. The words lanced her. She fled to the armory, Cicada's core burning in her palm. The edge. They assembled at dawn. The EMP array crouched on the ridge like a mechanical spider, its legs splayed in the sand. Zev crouched beside it, inputting the final command sequence. The fusion core throbbed in its housing, a captured supernova. Taryn scanned the horizon. The warlord's fortress loomed in the distance, a blackened tooth against the sky. Somewhere within, the children waited. Zev rose, wiping grit from his hands. It is ready. Will it work? All equations have variables. She stepped into his space, close enough to see the frayed edges of his resolve. If we do this, we lose the chance to destroy the control hub. The warlord will rebuild. Oh yes. Thousands could die. Oh yes. She searched his face for mockery, for deceit, found only exhaustion. Why offer the choice? Because you are not a bullet, Taryn, and I am tired of being a trigger. The wind shifted. Somewhere, a child laughed or screamed. The desert blurred the difference. She activated the EMP. Chapter 3. The storm came hungry. It gnawed at the horizon, a wall of roiling sand lit from within by forks of static lightning. Taryn Vosk stood atop the ridge, her sand camouflage armor rippling like a mirage. Below, the warlord's fortress squatted in the desert's belly, its obsidian walls studded with the skulls of failed conquerors. Somewhere in those lightless corridors, the children waited, their bodies dormant, their minds adrift in the neural bomb's cold current. Zev Kethran crouched beside her, his hands buried in the guts of a portable EMP emitter. The device whined like a gut-shot animal, its cracked housing leaking tendrils of ozone. He had not slept in 48 hours. It showed in the tremor of his fingers, the bruised hollows beneath his eyes. The pulse will last 12 seconds, he said, his voice sandpapered raw. Enough to sever the warlord's control signal, not enough to prevent retaliation. Taryn adjusted her scope. The fortress eastern gate shimmered under thermal overlay, a heat mirage disguising sentry positions. Her brother's ghost murmured in her ear, a familiar refrain, "Finish it, burn them all." She silenced him. For the first time in 7 years, the ghost faltered. Zev stood wiping grease on his thigh, his gaze snagged on the EMP's core, a stolen fusion battery, its cobalt glow leaching into the twilight. Once activated, the warlord will know our position. His drones will swarm. Let them, Taryn slung her rifle. The weight grounded her. You take the south tunnel, plant the charges at the neural hub. The dogs and I will draw fire. He caught her arm, his grip was fever-hot. That is not the plan. She stared at his hand. He released her as though scalded. The neural hub is beneath the barracks, he said, where the children are kept if the charges detonate. The mission requires the hub's destruction. Her words tasted of ash. The warlord's network dies with it. So do they. The storm's vanguard wind lashed them, stinging with the promise of oblivion. Taryn turned her face into the gale. Somewhere south, Cicada's last transmission looped in the static, her brother's final words, warped by time and cosmic interference into a stranger's plea. Zev stepped into her sightline. There is another way. She laughed, a hollow sound. Of course there is. You always have another equation. He unclipped a neural injector from his belt. The fluid inside glowed sickly green. My implant. He tapped the scar beneath his jaw. It can act as a relay, redirect the bomb's trigger signal. A cold blade twisted in her ribs. To what? To me. The sand hissed. Somewhere below, a sentry coughed. You would die. Possibly, his smile was a razor's edge, but the children would wake. She seized his collar. Their helmets clacked together, her breath fogging his visor. That is not a solution. That is suicide. Is it? He did not pull away. Or is it the only sum that balances? The storm broke. The fortress. They breached the gates under cover of the sand's fury. The dogs moved like phantoms, their rover bikes skimming the dunes on cushions of ionized air. Plasma fire lit the chaos in strobe flashes, crimson, then black, then crimson again. Taryn led the charge, her rifle spitting tungsten rounds at anything that bled. Zev vanished into the south tunnel, his EMP emitter slung across his back. He did not look back. She refused to watch him go. The fortress interior was a labyrinth of scar tissue. Bullet holes pockmarked the walls, their edges melted by old plasma burns. The air reeked of burnt hair and rotting circuitry. Taryn's boots slipped on a slurry of sand and spent cartridges. Somewhere ahead, the neural hub pulsed, a massive fungal growth of biotech grafted to the stone. Rask's voice crackled over comms. Drones, East Corridor. Hold position, Taryn ordered. Her HUD flickered. Cicada's last coordinates overlapped with the hub's location. Her brother's voice waited there, cradled in the drone's shattered core. She ran. The children's barracks was a crypt. Rows of cots lined the walls, each occupied by a small, still form. Neural collars glinted in the biolume's jaundiced light. The youngest girl from the compound lay curled on a cot near the door, her wired doll clutched to her chest. Alive, unconscious. Zev stood at the room's heart, his EMP emitter fused to the neural hub's base. Blood sheeted his left arm, a drone's parting gift. Told you I would beat you here, he said. She leveled her rifle at the hub. Move. He stepped into her line of fire. No. The mission is a lie, he gestured to the children. The warlord is not here. This fortress is a shell, a test. Her finger hovered over the trigger. Of what? You, his gaze pinned her. He wanted to see if you would choose vengeance over mercy. I wanted to see if you would choose me. The rifle trembled. She hated him for it. An alarm shrieked. The neural hub convulsed, biowire tendrils lashing the air. Status lights flared crimson, the bombs arming. Zev lunged for the injector. Taryn shot him. The neural injector shattered, green fluid splattering the floor. He stared at her, his gray eyes wide. You do not get to die, she snarled. Not until you fix what you broke. She tossed him Cicada's core. The storm's eye. The rooftop was a slaughterhouse. Drones circled overhead, their plasma cannons painting the sandstone with liquid fire. Taryn dragged Zev behind a collapsed antenna array, her armor smoking. The core, she shouted over the storm. Can you hack the hub with it? He coughed, blood flecking his lips. You could have escaped. The children, can you save them? He pried open Cicada's core. Her brother's voice spilled out, warped and metallic. Rin, if you hear this, do not. Zev's fingers danced across the core's innards. The encryption is yours, a voice-print key. She stilled. What? Your brother's last words. The warlord could not crack them. Neither could I. His smile was a ghost. But you can. The drones descended. Taryn pressed her palm to the core. The fortress shook. The joys. Silence. The neural hub lay dead, its biowire veins bleached white. Taryn knelt in the ashes, cicada's core cooling in her hands. Her brother's voice lingered in the static, a half-remembered lullaby. Zev slumped against the wall, his breathing shallow. The injector's poison gnawed at him, dark veins spidering beneath his skin. She crawled to him. Why? His eyelids fluttered. You know why. Tell me. He touched her cheek, his fingers left smears of blood and coolant. Because you asked. The children stirred. The med base. Dawn bled across the desert, timid and pale. The med base's domes glowed like pearls in the newborn light. Taryn stood at the observation window, watching the children sleep. Machines do the breathing for them, their collars removed, their faces smooth. Zev's cot lay empty. His boots were gone, his tools, his blood still stained the floor. Rask approached, his gait uneven. Command wants a report. Tell them the hub is destroyed, casualties acceptable. He hesitated, and Kethran. She studied the horizon. A single rover track scarred the dunes, vanishing into the east, dead. The lie settled between them, brittle but intact. Cicada's core hummed in her pocket. She had not played the message. Some ghosts deserved silence. The edge of everything. Zev found her at the storm wall. His rover idled behind him, its armor pitted but intact. You missed, he said. She did not lower her binoculars, did I? The wind peeled back the sand skin, revealing the warlord's true fortress, a black spire rising from the planet's crust. Cicada's data streamed across her HUD, a trail of breadcrumbs even her brother's ghost could not ignore. Zev's shadow fell beside hers. What now? She mounted her rover. The engine snarled. Now we hunt. They rode into the storm, two scars on the desert's face. Behind them, the children dreamed.